And here we are. Yeah, we are finally live. All right. So this is Gabriel with ODE Mastery. All right. That's this guy right here. You can see it. Online Digital Education Mastery, which is a community of teachers that collaborate with teachers to ascend the value ladder. And I do an interview once a week, twice a week. And today we're doing an interview with an amazing man, somebody that I met a few years ago. I was an Uber driver and he was my passenger. Imagine that. This was, I think, back in 2017, 2016. But we're going to be speaking with Diomark King Diaz, Mr. Dream, Inspire, and Obtain, DIO. He is the creator, founder, and CEO of this LLC. And it's a small and up-and-coming lifestyle brand, okay, that you will see a lot more in the future. So his model is simple: dreamers inspiring dreamers to obtain their goals. And that's very important because if you're a dreamer, you need support. Okay. And dreamers are these are people who innovate and they just give, people the future. We see the future. They're futurists. So his purpose is to create and nurture a positive environment where dreamers can seek their highest potentials while inspiring others to obtain the same. He also has a podcast that will be airing January 2020, okay, and we'll be releasing it at that date. The show is about providing a platform with a microphone for dreamers to talk about their high achievements and shortcomings regarding their dreams and aspirations. Our purpose, and I quote him, is to help create and nurture positive environments, right, where dreamers can seek their highest potentials while inspiring others to attain the same. Also, if you get a chance, you must check out the DIO website at dreaminspireobtain.com for any additional information that you can help or that can help you. So let us know if you're watching live, hashtag replay, and let's everybody welcome Diomark King Diaz. Welcome to the show. Welcome.
Thank you for that awesome introduction, Gabe. Thank you so much. Must appreciate it.
You're most welcome, man. How you feeling? You feeling all right?
I feel good. I'm ready to start. Let's do this.
You're looking very sharp.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm underdressed for this interview.
It's a very important platform, so I gotta look my best. You never know who's watching.
And when you wear the moniker of CEO of your company, you can either go straight up, super classic like that, very nice, professional, or you could go, Apple Tim Cook like, just a T-shirt and hush puppies or whatever.
Yeah,
so it's all good. Just the same. I'm happy to see you here, man.
Thank you.
So,
it's an honor to be here.
Thanks, man. Really. So, Bill, imagine that, a school kid is looking out of the window in the middle of the class like this, on his final exam. And the teacher just passed out the leaflets and told everyone the instructions to begin the exam. And we've all been there. You've been there. I've been there. Yet, this student has completely drifted into a multiverse without losing his senses or sensibilities. He's clueless as to what the teacher's talking about. At what point in a dreamer's life does one realize that their dreams take a lot of work and effort?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, in my experience, I came to that realization when I honestly had my son. I came to realize because I became a father. I had to set the example and the foundation. And from that moving forward, it hasn't been easy, but it's every pillar I've climbed has made it an experience, and it's worth it. It's honestly worth it, but it's not. The journey is not easy.
Why is it not easy? I mean, what kind of work is involved, to be able to make that dream a realization?
Well, it starts where what avenue do you want to take? Now, once you decide what avenue you want to take, you have to decide, what are the steps I need to take to get to that avenue? And there's a bunch of obstacles and pillars, and throughout this journey of life, it's a lot of when you're trying to create them, there's a lot of negativity. So you have to overcome constantly advertisement to be able to accomplish that goal
Yeah.
and educate yourself and learn and continue moving forward.
That negativity is as real as a pinch in the cheek or anything like that, where people are like, ouch. You know, uh, Yesterday I did a live where my topic of conversation was what can teachers learn from kidpreneurs? And I did this because I knew that today we were going to have this conversation about dreamers, which is your specialty. And, you know, I started out reminding teachers that, you were kids once in a classroom doing this, looking out the window. And it's not because you were bored. It was because you didn't realize that what you were doing was you were looking at your future. You were daydreaming about something. You were creating something, innovating something. And then all of a sudden, your teacher comes and she bursts that bubble by saying, pay attention. This is teacher. We're going to talk about this junk. And all of a sudden, that kid gets all stymied. And there is your first, in my opinion, your first example of negativity,
Yes.
because this child wants to realize something in their brain that might be important. But you got a teacher who forgot how to do that. So instead of inspiring, they burst your bubble.
Yes, I think I think that's one of the main problems we have nowadays is the negativity, and the teachers are the pillars or children's foundation of dreams. And if you go to my website, I wrote a small blog, and where after 10 years, my wife took me back to my hometown, Puerto Rico, and I found my childhood elementary closed for 10 years.
Right.
And it's something inside broke because I realized, this place was the fundamental of dreams. The teachers, made it special for children to go to school and inspire children to be a teacher sometimes, and I think that is one of the main problems. We have to get back to that foundation. Teachers, we have to arise, like teachers like yourself that are constantly educating and building, not because you have to, but it's because you want to.
I love the kids. I do it Monday. Actually, I do it Sunday through Fridays. I wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Determination, my brother. Yes.
Yeah, and that's to work until 8 o'clock in the morning because the kids that I educate are in China. So they're 13 hours ahead. It's not their fault that, I have to wake up at this hour. But the thing is that, they actually enrich my life. And as they do that, I get to actually enjoy how I approach the education with them, and I do it in a jovial manner. And, it's over the internet. So it's not, it's a little different. It's not as physical as it can be, I guess, or as brick and mortar teachers are. But I love that I can take my kids when they're being silly and encourage them to use that as part of their creative growth instead of being like, stop acting like a kid, and that's a beautiful thing, man.
Yes.
Now, healthy dreamers, okay, they do not have preconditions to happiness. They realize the process is just as important as the product. Now, while going towards their goals, they do not wait for life to turn out, okay, in reaching their dreams. They see their life turning out as they go. When did your dream of becoming DIO and wanting to inspire other dreamers happen? When did that happen?
Well, I can remember the date. It was November 12th, 2016.
Nice. Wow.
At 8:33 p.m.
That's very specific, dude.
Yes. This dream, this idea, this dream, I've had it for several years. But it wasn't until that moment that I realized that I don't have a job. I have a service. Now I'm going back to my son because that was the day and the time he was born. It's my job, my duty to inspire him. So for that, I have to work on myself. And this DIO dream, the same thing I have to do for him, I have to do for others. So it's a service of uplifting others and creating that support group that we unfortunately we don't have in our world or in our society at times, and that was that defining moment for me.
Wow. That's actually it's really encouraging. You said something very important, which is serving people, and that's something that we're not taught. If anything, we are taught to forget. A lot of inspiring and motivational speakers throughout the last, let's say, 100 years. People like Zig Ziglar, Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie, Bob Proctor, to name a few, Robert Kiyosaki, and modern day Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi. Now, one of my mentors, Russell Brunson, who's a 21st century motivator.
Shout out to Russell Brunson.
Yeah, and what they all say and have said, and the one specifically who said it almost 100 years ago, Zig Ziglar or Napoleon or one or the other, was the more people that you serve, the more money you'll make in life. But you can't make money unless you serve people, unless you solve a problem. You have to have a solution for problems that people have. Not everybody wants to solve a problem. It takes a special person. It takes a special person like you, even like myself, because I serve a community of teachers and I'm solving and trying to solve a problem for them, which is daunting in itself. But I don't care. I'm still pushing the envelope and pushing life in that direction, So serving people is so important, and we forget that. We really do. We're like, well, I'm not going to solve your problem. Well, if you solve their problems, you'll become much better as an individual. And chances are you make $1 million doing it, because it builds trust, it builds communities. It's not about the money. It's about the mass movement, that big message that you are creating so that you can continue to help people. And that's what I'm all about. And I see that's what you're all about.
Yes.
I talk a lot about my teacherpreneur community, about the mindset needed to achieve their dreams, using their experience and academic achievements, to niche it down, to focus on a dream audience with problems that they can solve. What niche market is DIO focused on, and what solutions do you offer your dream audience?
Well, my market, it's speaking, honestly. It's for those who do not have a voice, and my platform gives them a voice. It's a service at the moment. I'm focusing on try to build a better future for better people, and it starts by talking about it. A lot of people have great ideas. A lot of people have potential. A lot of people have a lot of inspirational stories they need to share, and they don't have that platform. There's a lot of billionaires, but there's not a lot of humble people that are in the small area, and they're not listening. So I'm in that. I'm in that market right now. I'm in the talking process.
The way I've been learning it and learned it actually, it's you're finding your voice. When I started doing my lives, I didn't have a voice. I was still struggling to understand my avatar, my dream audience. Who am I going to serve? Now, I understand that, I'm looking to serve teachers, but that's a broad subject. That's why niching it down is so important. One of the things that I learned with Russell Brunson is that everybody is in what's called a red ocean. And they call it a red ocean because everybody's a shark biting at the same piece of meat in the same bone. So it gets bloody. And nobody makes money doing that, and nobody solves problems doing that.
Absolutely. You're correct.
But when you actually create a blue ocean for yourself, which means that you're niching it down. I went from starting as a teacherpreneur, and I understand what I wanted to accomplish, but I wasn't niching it down to pinpoint or be like a sniper, aiming exactly at my audience. And I've broken it down from teacher to ESL teacher to ESL English teacher, and that avatar, that niche of mine has opened me up to a blue ocean of possibilities where, I've been able now to discover that I can service, and my mission statement is to serve 688,000 teachers over the next 12 months.
Wow.
where I'm gonna acclimate, train, and teach them how to take their educational niche, and solve problems for people online. Because the fact of the matter is that there's a need for another 60, 70 million teachers over the next 10
Yeah.
years. So let's start now, and I only need 1% of that. Your niche audience is going to become more defined as you continue to find your voice. And I say that because there's so many dreamers, right? Everybody's got a dream, but it's not a defined dream. It's an instinct, right? We know we got something, but we still haven't defined it yet.
Hmm.
I think that your platform will allow people to start to discover that as you continue to discover your voice and guide them into your
Absolutely.
podcast, which is a good thing. I look forward to listening to your podcast for that reason. The American dream.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever
The
that
wife
is.
take offense. The wife
Yeah.
take offense.
Yeah, with the wife, the blonde-haired wife and the blue eyes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was the Mayberry times back in the 60s.
Yeah.
But the current American dream, all right, is a statement that many people seek on a global scale now. And with the entrepreneurship, with entrepreneurship becoming relevant during this pandemic, 2020, 2021 years, how can your company, your podcast, DIO, as a lifestyle brand, help dreamers find their successful footing moving forward in 2021?
Well, the platform right now I'm trying to promote, or I'm trying to build up, is the podcast, and where we have different types of individual and different types of career path. So by creating this platform, anybody can tune in, and hey, if somebody's, let's say, building a fitness business, and somebody that's trying to do the same thing could go and tune in and listen to that and hear their story, hear their ups and downs, hear their experience, hear what took them to get to the certain level they're in, and they can decide by whether it's for them or not, or if that same person wants to start a fitness and listen to somebody else do something else, and that calls their attention. It gives an option of self-education, so they can actually nip point where is their passion. Like I said, communication is the key for a lot of things. A lot of people have ideas and dreams, but they not necessarily know what to do with them. So my platform is, like I said in the beginning, is to create a support group, and where people can go and digest thoughts and message and information and see where they want to go.
What kind of value content do you think you're going to be providing your listeners so that they can nurture, their dreams, so that they can actually take it from a dream concept to a reality concept?
I think the value, it's going to be immense, because we have a problem that when you go on social media, everybody shows you, I just made 100,000. I got a Bugatti, or I got a Porsche, right? They don't show you the nights you lost. Yeah, they don't show you the nights you lost, stressing because you needed financial stability, and other stress. When you're in a job and you're struggling with the tension, family and work. My platform will talk all about that, and they will share how, or give their opinion or their experience, and where they can help. And people can listen to that and say, they pick and choose what's best for them, what can help for them. And that's what my platform is going to be providing.
Yeah, that's cool. I agree, and that's important because if you're going to be a leader in your niche, in your podcast dreamer world, you need to provide that type of value content that's going to give them perspective. A lot of people, even though we're dreamers, we still have no idea which way to go. And we talk a lot about, at least I do. I talk a lot about the question that most people have, which is, how do I get from here to there? And I tell my audience, it's not about how, because when we ask the question how, we start to procrastinate so that we learn how first. And by the time we're done learning how, we forgot our goal in life. So I tell people in my community, it's not how, it's who. Who can get me there quicker? You are the who for your dreamers. Because again, and I would emphasize this: if your dreamers ask, "How can I get from here to there?" No, that's the wrong question. The question is, who can help me get from here to there quicker? And you are the solution to that dreamer. And I think that's the way to get people acclimated. That's how I get my teachers thinking. Procrastination will kill a dream.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
So let's not kill a dream with how. Let's inspire the dream with who can get you there and bridge that gap so that you can turn that dream into a reality.
Yes, yes.
Successful dreamers, they are entrepreneurs at all levels, and walks of life. Now, many have been featured in shows like Shark Tank, and everybody knows Shark Tank, and others that have just flexed their digital era muscles like Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. What advice do you want to give dreamers who are still unsure of launching their dreams to help them monetize those ideas, that they still have in their noggins?
Monetize and capitalize on them?
Yes.
Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Whatever, if they don't have a clear idea and they only have clear moments, just capitalize on the moments, write it down, do something that it's going to help you be useful on that idea. Yes, write them down. Record yourself. I have tons and tons and tons of notebooks of ideas throughout the years I've written down, and just write them down. Or do something, if you have a passion for coding, look on YouTube, look on Google, something that has something in regards of coding, capitalize on that thought so that, you will not use it at that moment. But if you seek for that knowledge, it'll stay there. And when the time needs, you have it.
Yeah. I think journaling is something that a lot of people don't understand because they're like, I don't write. Okay.
You have to. You
don't have to, but you should.
Yes.
If you're not writing, record it.
Mm-hmm.
Because just as quickly as you think about it, it's in the past. And it gets lost in the past if you don't document it. There's a lot of amazing people who I have read already. Like, for example, the actor Matthew McConaughey. Mm-hmm. He recently made a statement on an interview that because of journaling, he wrote a book.
Yeah, Greenlight, I believe is the name.
Yeah.
Very, very good book.
He wasn't thinking of writing a book. He was just, I'm going to write my thoughts down because somebody told him, go ahead, you should write these things down. 6 months, a year later, whatever amount of time after the fact, he had enough material to write a book that even he was like, wow, I wrote this. I thought about this.
Yes.
If you're not going to write it down, record it. Yesterday's live that I did about what teachers can learn from kidpreneurs, I bought this notebook that very day, Sunday. I was out with my wife, and as she was doing laundry, I was writing. And I was like, all my thoughts. And I wrote 30 minutes worth of a live that I put out yesterday, and that is so important. A lot of people understand that documenting your thoughts is a lot more important than just talking about it. Because now you got proof of something that can lay the foundation work for what you're trying to accomplish.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to put it out there like that, And of course, in the future, it's going to serve you, for something even bigger, I think.
I mean, if you won't use it now, you use it later. Like my
absolutely. Exactly. My teacher community, ODE, I tell my teachers every day, in any way, shape, or form, I say, I am here to help you understand how to monetize 5 different ways your educational experience and your academic achievements. Because that's why you got into teaching. So the pandemic has stymied everybody's personal growth. Now, you take that experience and you niche it down and you solve a problem. Because there's a lot more people now with problems than they have solutions. So if you're an educator, provide a solution to those problems with your experience, with your educational background, your academic achievements. Don't just have those degrees on the wall and be whining about, we're in pandemic, I can't make any money. I don't want those people in my group.
And this pandemic is where you should shine more.
Believe it or not, this is where the belief system in somebody is so important. It all starts with the mindset. It's difficult, but rewiring your brain to believe, one, in yourself, and then two, in your cause, is what's going to help you solve problems for others who need your voice, your message. I think that you're doing a fantastic thing. I saw your website.
Thank you, brother.
I read some of the content there, and I like your merchandise. Tell me, how is your merchandise coming along? I mean, is this something that people are starting to resonate with?
At the moment, no. The merchandise, I just recently uploaded it. So we'll see. Hopefully, we could get a couple of shirts sold.
All right, I'm sure you will, man. And whatever I can do to push it on my teacher community, I will certainly do so. Let me ask you this. When is your first, or do you already have a podcast that's being published already or been published that people can go and listen to?
Well, at the moment, the first episode will be released January 4, 2021. I think there's 5 audio version on the website that anybody can go and just download them already there. So anytime they want.
Fantastic. And that's going to be on dreaminspireandobtain.com.
Yes.
That's a nice name, man. DIO. All right, for everybody listening, hashtag DIO, hashtag live, hashtag lifestyle, hashtag whatever you got to do to support Diomark King Diaz.
Yes.
Dio, thank you so much for being here today in my life, my community. I know that teachers are going to appreciate you, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So, coming live from you from ODE, Online Digital Education Mastery. All right, this is Gabriel. I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.